Great. I want to welcome everyone to the Monday Morning Momentum. My name is Matt Houston. I am honored to serve as chairman of the Texas Association of African American Chambers of Commerce. Thank you all for being a part of this meeting. Typically, this is our monthly get together where our heads of chambers are able to not only learn from one another, but it's also a place for us to share ideas and how we move the agenda of the Black business economy forward in the state of Texas, as we serve over 350,000 Black businesses throughout the state. Before we get started, I want to welcome uh, a new chamber in the fold here. We have Tyler Metro here. I believe we have Sandra Burns on the call, in which you will hear from her later on. But I want to first welcome her to her first Monday Morning Momentum. Welcome. Thank you for being a part of not only today, but being a part of the Black business ecosystem leadership here in the state. And we look forward to venturing east so that we can provide resources for you to build your members. So you'll hear more from Sandra later on, but I wanted to acknowledge her. I also want to acknowledge that the Alamo City Black Chamber has a new executive director, and I want to acknowledge her whenever she gets on. I'll actually have our president discuss the new members, but today I wanted us to discuss the importance of convening in September. Our tone today is really galvanizing everyone, as I have witnessed firsthand at the university level the impact of Senate Bill 17 and how that's starting to impact higher education agencies in Texas on DE&I practices, their staffing, things of that nature. I want us to discuss that, and so I appreciate our president, Mr. O'Neill, for providing that email and for his and for looking forward to his report soon. I also want us to discuss how we are going to communicate with our partners. One, knowing that several years ago, we've had an MOU established by state agencies. So Senate Bill 17 can impact that. I want to give a shout out to our executive board. We had that discussion in our last exec meeting. And so I want us on this call, as we discuss the TAC conference, to see how we're able to carve in our relationship with our agencies and what we should do between now and September. And finally, I want us to be able, as local leaders, to understand how we're able to fight this locally. Your cities are going to need, your public institutions will need to have advocates in our local markets to be able to fight this DE&I fight. And I want this tag body to be able to galvanize and create our strategy to move forward as Black chambers. All right. So I wanted us to set that tone for our Monday Morning Momentum today, and then we will share amongst one another. Before we move on, I would like to have our project manager, Ms. Kristen O'Neill, either give us introductions or introduce our president.
Good morning, everyone. I was definitely going to say, let's go around and do a quick roundtable of chamber intros. So I'm going to start with Mr. Abdullah El Bay. If you can kick it off for us, and then tag someone who you'd like to acknowledge next.
Good morning, everyone. Good to see everyone out here this morning. My name is Abdul El Bay. I am the chairman of Greater Southwest Black Chamber of Commerce. Looking forward to seeing what's going on this morning, and I'd like to pass it off to Mrs. D. Ms. D.
Oh, good morning. Dee Moore. I'm with the Abilene Black Chamber of Commerce. I wasn't quite sure what you said, but I'm glad to be here. Obviously, I'm not an early morning person. And you say, well, 10 o'clock's not early. Well, in some cases it is when you're retired. So good morning, everyone. And I'll pass it off to, I saw somebody. Michelle, you're smiling beautifully this morning. It's all yours.
Wonderful. Good morning, everyone. And I'm like Ms. D. I'm not the early morning person either, but I am excited to be on the call today and to get updates and to see where everybody is. And I'm president and CEO of the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber here in Fort Worth, and we are excited to be a part of TAC and everything that's going on. And I'd like to pass it on to Miss Gladys.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gladys Pettigrew. I'm a member of the Tyler Metro Chamber, and it is really a privilege to be with you all this morning.
Well, thank you for joining us. We can't wait to hear more about you. Let's pass it on to. I want to take a personal privilege to pass it on to the communications intern of collaborative culture, Miss Kennedy Houston, and I want her to share with us her recent accomplishment, and then she'll have to pass it on to someone else.
Good morning, everyone. Hi, I'm Kennedy.
Good morning.
Well, spotlight's on. Okay, so y'all, I just graduated from UT Austin yesterday and Friday.
All right.
So I have these invitations. Well, they are announcements, but I'll read it.
No, you don't need to read the announcements. That's all right,
I'll
Kennedy.
show it to y'all.
This is a business meeting. Just there you go. I'm letting you know that I'm proud of you. You don't have to share everyone how proud of yourself you are. She is a graduate. She is my niece, and she's also she graduated from the communications school at the University of Texas at Austin, and she will be helping Tristan and Charles and I as we move forward with the conference. So thank you very much, Kennedy, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to pass it to Tim Gassaway and Amarillo.
Good morning, everyone. Tim Gassaway, Amarillo Area Black Chamber of Commerce. Been kind of quiet lately, but I've been busy. I am currently the Democratic nominee for District 87 up here in the Panhandle. So I've been in the streets, but hopefully I'll get to talk to everybody at the conference. But we look forward to continuing with you guys. Take care. And I'm going to pass it on. Let's see if I can see some other people. Other people that haven't, I don't see a lot of people. Hold on 1 second. How about Ben Brown?
Thank you, sir. I'm just happy to be on the call. I'm Ben Brown with the Ennis Freedman Chamber of Commerce. And I'm inviting everybody down to Waxahachie on June the 15th. The chamber, along with the African American Museum, will be hosting a Juneteenth parade and celebration downtown Waxahachie. Y'all are all invited. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll
Let's go. Oh, go ahead, Ben.
to Warren. Has he already gone?
Can you hear me?
Yep, got you.
Good morning, everyone. This is Warren Muhammad. I'm with the Acres Home Chamber for Business and Economic Development. They say it's in Houston, but we call it Acres Home, Texas. And I want to invite everyone to come down to our 4th annual Juneteenth festival on Juneteenth. Be on that Wednesday on the day of the holiday. We're going to have a great time. We got 4 live bands playing, cultural arts, food trucks, you name it. We're going to be doing it. So y'all welcome to come down. Have my invitation.
Nice. Acres Home in the building, representing the North and in the Houston side. Okay.
Fo.
Good. Good deal. Let's go to, I think we see Greater Austin. I see that we have Greater Austin on.
Good morning to all you good-looking and talented folk. This is Roger Davis. I'm the business engagement coordinator since January of this year, and I have the honor of representing the wonderful Tam Hawkins, who is our president and CEO of the Greater Austin Black Chamber. I always look forward to seeing all you wonderful people when TAC comes to the Capitol in September or October of this year. So hopefully everybody's had a great weekend, and to all the mothers, a belated happy Mother's Day.
Definitely appreciate you. Welcome, and look forward to seeing you on our future Monday morning momentum calls. Thanks for joining us. Let's go back up to North Texas. I think I saw Larry Hall.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Larry Hall, president of the Greater Southwest Black Chamber of Commerce. Glad to be on this morning and looking forward to working as an advocate for this great cause.
Thank you, sir.
Tim,
Let's go. Let's go ahead. You got it, Larry.
Tim Gasaway?
Tim's already gone. And so, but what I will do is I see someone from the East that I want to bring up. I see Greg Muckleroy here. So, Greg, would you introduce yourself? You're muted. I think we lost him. Well, I also see Linda Gray is on.
Good morning.
Good morning, Linda. How are you?
Ready for you all.
All right. That's what we like to hear. All right. And then there's a telephone number, 817. Would you mind introducing yourself? And then we'll move forward. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for attending.
I'll be there.
We got a couple.
Sorry, Coretta. We didn't have our secretary announce. Girl, you better announce yourself. There you go.
Coretta Graham from Corpus Christi Black Chamber of Commerce. We're south of Houston.
Sorry about that, Madam Secretary. And I believe
Mr. Anthony Williams as well.
Anthony, how are you, sir? Sorry about that.
I'm doing well. I'm from beautiful Abilene, Texas, where I get to work with D. Moore, the Abilene Black Chamber. And second time I've joined this occasion, and looking forward to a conversation and getting to know everyone a little bit better.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking the helm as well. All right. And so without further ado, I would like us to introduce our president so he can give us a brief update. And then I would like him. Oh, yes.
It took me a minute to get this phone thing squared away. Good morning, everyone. I'm Daryl Brewer.
Hey,
from the Greater Northeast Black Chamber of Commerce. Hey, man.
How you doing?
I'm great, thank you. Just re-energized and wanted to come in this morning. I had some available time. I'm with the Greater Northeast Black Chamber of Commerce, which is the suburb of Fort Worth and north of Fort Worth. Good morning to everyone.
Good morning. Good to hear from you. All right.
Can you hear me now? This is Greg Muckleroy.
Hey, Greg, how are you? Good to see you.
Oh gosh, man, this is the first time I've ever used Google Meet, so I am swimming in deep water now. Just bear with me. But this is Greg Muckleroy from Longview, Tyler area, and it's very interesting what's going on here. I'm glad I got the message to chime in. We are getting busy economically here. These folks are spending money like it's growing on trees here. So,
well, let's do it. Well, let's talk. Well, thank you. It's good to see you. It's good to see everyone on this call. It's very healthy. I love the energy here because one, we are here to feed off of one another because we know that this is an uphill battle. The fight to build equity for our businesses here, but we are here as a support group. And I'd like to introduce us to our leader, Charles O'Neill. Thank you for your email last week. Please give us an update from your vantage point. And then I would like us to open the floor to introduce formally the Tyler Metro Black Chamber to the fold so we can hear some things that are happening with them. And then we'll continue our discussion.
All right, thank you, and good morning to everyone. It is just so good to see us over 20 people represented on the call when for the last several months we've been percolating in the single digits, and so it is really good to see everybody and hear what the words pop off, including advocacy, so everyone's attuned to what it is that we are what we've committed ourselves to do. Real quick, Greg, really good to see you back and healthy and trying to match me with your gray beard there, brother, like that. Warren, we were planning our annual conference. We got as close to the FOFO as we possibly could. We'll be in Sugar Land in September. We'll get down to the Sugar Land Marriott Town Center and sign that contract tomorrow. And so most of my encouragement to you today is, as Matt noted in his opening remarks, I don't think we have faced as an organization or as business organizations the kind of challenges in 2 decades at least. And so we do expect that this upcoming legislative session will present even more challenges to the work that we do as organizations. And I just think that this year's conference, it behooves us to be as present as possible. So we'll offer the challenge to each of the organizations, as we have in years past, to have at least 10 of your members present for the conference. And so I think there clearly is strength in numbers. And those numbers represent our commitment to our mission. And so if we can put 300 or 400 people in the Sugar Land Town Center Marriott in September, I think it'll sound resoundingly across the state. We will absolutely have elected officials. We'll hear from the chairman of the Texas Legislative Black Caucus as we begin to frame our legislative agenda for the upcoming legislative session. Again, as I noted, I do expect that current historically underutilized business regulations or rules will be on the chopping block. While they have not been as fruitful to our members as we would have imagined nearly 40 years ago, it is still representative. It still represents the state's intent to be equitable in distribution of resources. So without that framework on the state's books, so to speak, we'll be absolutely without protections against the overt discriminatory practices as exercised and as demonstrated in the laws enacted in this last legislative session against diversity, equity, and inclusion. If you've seen already our save the date for this year's upcoming conference, you'll see the tag pro DEI. We're just trying to take some liberty with diversity, equity, inclusion, and saying that we're doing everything intentionally. And what we're doing intentionally is demonstrating to the rest of the state our commitment to equitable presence in the state's economy. And we can do that by continuously advocating for the businesses that we represent. As Matt noted, now nearly 400,000 Black-owned businesses in the state. We believe that the presence of Black dollars in the state's economy is central to the way the state conducts its business. Very clearly, our contribution to the state's treasury through taxes levied and our purchases of goods and services far above the index. So if we're 15% of the population, we know that Black folk return virtually 100% of their earnings to the marketplace in various forms, for consumer purchases clearly, but for everything, housing, transportation. And so we know that we're punching far above our weight as far as contributions to the state's economy, but the return on our taxpayer investment is below everybody else. Every other quote unquote aggrieved group gets a better return for their taxpayer investment than Black folk. That is clearly, it's unacceptable. Always has been unacceptable, but we know that with the current push toward increased discriminatory practices, I think again it behooves us to mount a visible challenge to those efforts. One, demonstrating by our presence in Houston at our annual conference, and then further through our collective voice in the formation or the formulation of our legislative agenda for the 88th legislative session coming up in January. And so again, welcome to all of you. I'll join into the conversation as we move forward. I think you'll hear from Ms. Burns, from Tyler, who were able to join her and members of her board for a quick little work session a couple of weeks ago. We look forward to other opportunities to do similar work with each of your chambers. We do have between now and our conference, the U.S. Black Chambers annual conference is coming up July 17th through 20 in Washington, D.C. I know in the past, a number of you have attended that conference. It's always worthwhile, always a great convening of like-minded individuals from across the country. So if I gotta do a ranking of importance, I sure would like for you to attend the USBC conference. But if your travel budget gets strained by attempting to go to Washington, D.C., save your money and come to Houston in September. So we can zoom you into D.C. in July, but we absolutely want and need expanded presence for our annual conference. We do have some great potential surprises for you in that September meeting. There's one quick announcement, and we'll get back to this in our June Monday Morning Momentum, and certainly expand on it and at our conference in September. But just last week, we finalized our relationship with Lendistry. Is a nationwide CDFI, Community Development Financial Institution, so that now we have a portal, a loan application portal available on the TAC website for members of Texas Chambers, Texas Black Chambers of Commerce can apply for a loan from Lendistry through the Texas Association of African American Chambers of Commerce website. For those loans that are approved, TAC, the Texas Association, will receive a nominal amount. It's not a big amount, but the fact is one of the things that we committed to do when we began this work now nearly a dozen years ago was to begin to solve access to capital. We know access to capital has continued to be the biggest challenge, the biggest hurdle Black business owners face. Lendistry is a Black-run, Black-led community development financial institution, again, with a national footprint. We expect that their CEO, Everett Sands, and his vice president, Carrington Eubanks, will be with us in September to kind of publicly announce this relationship. But the portal is open now. So if you have members in your organizations that can again, there's no free money, we know that. But if they have a need for financial, for access to capital, let them apply through our portal. And so this is very specific to us, but we think that this is a great first step in providing the kind of access that our business owners have long hoped for. And so as we move forward, again, we've had the same or similar conversations with Unity National Bank, the one Black-owned bank in the state of Texas, who have agreed in the past to put the legs and feet on a tax-specific lending program. We hope that we'll be able to roll that out for you as well. In September, I did have a brief conversation with their vice president, who happens to be the owner or the president of the organization's daughter, Sherifette Lawal, when we were in Houston a couple of weeks ago. So they are enthusiastic about, again, putting together another source of access to capital for our members. And so I think that'll do me for right now, Mr. Chairman, but mark your calendars, September 18th for those golfers, 19th and 20th. Wednesday, September 18th, for those of you who play golf, we hope to finalize that golf course. Quail Valley, I think Jim Wyatt and Cliff Freeney are working on finalizing that agreement. Quail Valley is a golf course in the Missouri City area. For golfers who know the area, know that it's a good course. And then, of course, that evening we'll have our opening reception on Wednesday. Thursday, our typical run of show, Texas Black Economic Forecast, some special guests that we hope to be with us on that Thursday, and then Friday as well. It also is our annual meeting, and so we need all chamber leaders to be present, because we will have our Texas Association of African American Chambers of Commerce annual meeting during this year's annual conference. That's a quick recap. Any questions that you might have, I'll try to answer those, or we can save them to the end of the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Thanks for that update. Thanks for the good news about industry. We want to provide resources for our chambers so that you can disseminate this to your memberships locally. Kristen, our project manager, will work with our web designer so that once it's on our TAC website, we'll create the funnel or the strategy so that you all can disseminate that to your local markets. And so thank you. Thank you for that report. Thank you for the organizing, you and Kristen, and shouts out to our vice chair, Carol Guest, who's been helping you negotiate and work for sponsors for the conference. Thank you for all of the work that you all are doing for us to have this conference in Sugar Land, September 18th through the 20th. Note that this conference will be the week after Congressional Black Caucus, so this is not in conflict. I also agree with our president. Normally, we would like to have a push. We would love to see you in Washington, D.C. We need to be there. I think it's important for state leaders to see the amount of our where we stand at the national level, at the federal level, not only as a state having one of the largest regions, having 30 orgs within one state is unheard of, to the rest of the Black chambers, where I believe we are at 160, Charles?
172.
172 chambers across the country. It's really important to see where we stand amongst the federal the landscape, and how Black people are immigrating or migrating back to Texas, rather. So we need to be positioned to receive them. So we need to know that. They need to know that we're there. But this year, we really need to galvanize in September in Sugarland. So please feel free to do that. Now, I would like to bring the leader of the Tyler Metro Chamber up front, Miss Sandra. Would you please come up, or Kristen, would you please spotlight her? I would like to formally welcome her and allow us to hear more about her organization if she's still on the call.
I am. I'm right here.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Sandra, how are you? Please tell us a little bit about yourself, about the meeting you and Charles had with your board, and then tell us a little about the organization.
I'll be happy to. First, I'd like to say good morning, all the beautiful people that are on this call. I am delighted to be here and be a part of the Monday morning momentum. Just excited to be a part of TAC, this organization, and here to learn more, hear more, and see how we can do better in this work. I am the director of the Tyler Metro Chamber of Commerce, as already stated. Tyler Metro Chamber was organized back in 1994, way before I came on board. I was onboarded August 2023. So I am relatively new, but I've just been enjoying the process, the learning, the connecting, networking with the businesses here in Tyler. I just want to share our mission. Our mission is to foster a vibrant, prosperous minority business community by promoting economic opportunity, advocating for our members' interests, and facilitating meaningful relationships and partnerships. And so we are dedicated to supporting the local businesses here in Tyler, enhancing the quality of life in our community, and ensuring that Tyler, Texas remains a thriving, welcoming place to live, work, and visit. So there are a number of benefits as a member of our Metro Chamber here in Tyler. We offer business structuring, everything from A to Z, get the business started. We offer free business networking mixers every other month. We provide grand opening assistance, ribbon cutting ceremonies. We assist with those as well. Professional development, where we provide educational workshops and seminars, and actually developing a mentorship program. We provide business referrals because we receive calls from people in the community, other businesses that need certain work or need certain referrals. And so we refer those chamber members to those various businesses. We also offer at our facility, one of the perks for being a member is 2 hours free facility use per month. We also have a rewards recognition and rewards program, and then we connect with various lenders in the community to provide some financing for our members. So our goals are, as we continue this work, is to, number one, I feel that it's imperative, and this is something that I have just been really grinding on, is building relationships with businesses in the community, stakeholders, other community leaders, because I think that it's important for us to build those great relationships, because we need to build trust, and we need to also show that we are consistent in what we are doing here at the Tyler Metro. And so, of course, increasing the number of our chamber members, increasing membership, and expanding our reach and our resources. Because if we are able to increase our membership, well, naturally that will increase our resources as well. And so that's something huge that I am working on. And one of our other goals is to advocate for initiatives that support favorable Black business environment here in Tyler. That's something that we all have to kind of tread and just really work on and connect with our community leaders to let them know how important it is for our Black businesses to thrive. One of the other things is to continue to facilitate our networking opportunities and collaborations among our Metro members, community leaders, and stakeholders. I think that is imperative for us to continue that, and also provide services and programs to support the businesses, once again, from start to success, which includes those, once again, educational workshops, mentorship, and access to funding, which is imperative for many of our entrepreneurs and startup businesses. And also to continue to engage with our community through partnerships and outreach, and to make an overall difference in the community as a whole is my goal. And we have partnered with the city of Tyler to host a community resources fair, and it was all inclusive. It was the community, but it was other businesses there, and it was an awesome time to network during that time. And we have had collaboration with the Texas African American Museum here in Tyler, and collaborated with them on various events that they have had. So once again, we had the distinct pleasure of having Mr. Charles O'Neill and his beautiful daughter, Kristen, to visit with us here in Tyler. And it was a phenomenal visit. Lots of insight that was given, lots of information for us to build upon here in Tyler that we needed to hear and to know moving forward. And so we gained a lot of insight as far as connecting even more so with political leaders and things of that nature. So we're going to be moving in that direction and meeting with our city council and stakeholders, and inviting the mayor and people of that nature to the table so we can have a conversation about Black businesses and how these leaders can help support Black businesses in our community. So we're excited to be connected with TAC, and looking for future collaborations, future meetings as of this, so that I can learn and grow. So I'm excited about that. Thank you for the opportunity to share about Tyler Metro.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Would you introduce any of your board members who you have on the call with you that are on the call? I think someone else is here from Tyler.
I'll be happy to. So I did see Miss Gladys Pettigrew, and she was able to introduce herself earlier. I don't see anyone else from Tyler other than Miss Gladys Pettigrew, and she is our board treasurer.
Perfect. Good deal. Well, thank you all for joining the fold. We look forward. You all are welcome to join this call every second Monday at 10 a.m. This is where we are going to just provide resources for one another. Today, we are just focusing on welcoming you to the fold. So, chamber leaders, does anyone have any questions or comments to Sandra? The floor is yours. The floor is yours.
I had a question about her rewards program. What is that? How does she set that up?
Hello. The rewards, no, the awards program, we have set up an annual recognition, and this was even prior to my onboarding. In 2023 was our second year for, it's called the Community Image Awards. And it's an annual program where the community votes on businesses that they would like to recognize and honor to actually receive that recognition and a very, very nice trophy in that particular category and or industry. So it's an annual event, and we make it, you know, kind of a big event here in Tyler, and that's what it is. It's recognizing those businesses in the community, and actually the community are the ones who vote for the businesses to receive this reward.
Good deal. Did that answer your question, Coretta? Mr. O'Neill, did you have?
Yeah, man, and thank you for that, Ms. Burns. You know, we certainly enjoyed ourselves in our visit to Tyler, but a couple of your comments really sparked a couple of things that I need to expand on further, and then there are two additional people that I want to get on the floor here. One is recall, and I think we have done this, stressed this in past Monday morning momentum calls. We are really, really, really encouraging your individual organizations to spend a bit or expand your commitment to conversations around scale. You know, it's critical that we point our member businesses toward those steps that make them truly competitive in the marketplace. And we've kind of been harping on it, but I think as more and more, and that may be relative, but as more and more capital becomes available for business operations, that we've got to begin to think of scale. And one of the shortest term steps toward being more competitive in the marketplace is mergers and acquisitions. And so to the extent that we can create a kind of how-to book that allows business owners to understand the economies of scale that are inherent in a larger organization, when we see among our membership business owners engaged in like or similar industries that can benefit from joint operations, because again, the way I've described it in the past is a solo entrepreneur against a global economy is not a fair fight. And so to the extent that we can prepare Black business owners, again, in the state of Texas with the largest Black population among the 50 states, that we can beta and we can demonstrate to the rest of the country or to the rest of the world's marketplace, this global economy, that we are prepared to be competitive in a global economy because we have achieved the kind of dynamic, kind of scalability in our business enterprises that make us truly able to compete. We'll see this again, both in state procurements. We'll see it clearly in federal procurement, where there's a big push from USBC to afford more access to federal contracting. as Matt noted also, um, when this push for advocacy increased advocacy against anti-DEI policies that are manifest in municipal procurements, the same holds true. So if we can actually be competitive in our local markets by being bigger, more solid businesses, then I think that makes the work that we do much easier. But it also increases the likelihood that increasing amounts of access of capital is made available to businesses that prove that they can truly compete in the marketplace. Now, one other thing that hits to the folk on this call, I know everybody heard Tim Gasaway up there in Amarillo say that he was a candidate for House District 87. That is tough country up there, and so we want, to the extent that we can, be supportive. Way up there in Potter County and surrounding area, we know that that has been a reliable location for hard right wing Texans. And so, number one, kudos to Tim for throwing his hat, his willingness to throw his hat in the ring, and then and let him get a chance to kind of expand on that. And then the Honorable Anthony Williams from Abilene, has reached out to me in the past about an opportunity that from a relationship that he has. I want to thank him for that, and then give him a chance to kind of expand on that. As you know, Anthony served until he was term limited as mayor of Abilene, and has now made his commitment to the Abilene Black Chamber of Commerce to kind of give Ms. D. Moore a rest for her long-term shepherding of the organization. And we're really, really happy about the work that they have done on a consistent basis in Abilene, Texas. And so those are just two quick comments I had, Mr. Chairman. I think, again, understanding how we are able to affect one, the marketplace, and one, the creation of wealth building as a result of business activity. I think scalability, viability, and profitability can be best achieved when we pay more attention to the ways that we can join forces, again, through mergers, acquisitions, and other cooperative agreements. So that's real quick.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Charles. I agree with you 1,000%. I think that, well, everything that you said in terms of the advocacy piece. I want to thank Sandra. I want to thank you and Tyler Metro for reactivating. I want to thank you and Kristen Charles for going out there and doing the work to our local markets. I want us to continue this work in our other 29 markets and new markets that we need here in Texas, because as more African Americans or more people of color, more Black people are moving to the state, we need to create tools so that we can participate in this economy. Are we striving for equitable? Yes, but we are far away from that, and so it takes a lot of work for us to do that, and that's what we've been working on for the last 2 years or so to build our statewide network to make that happen. For what I'd like to do for the remaining portion of today is to, one, give you a quick synopsis of what will be of our Monday morning momentum for the remaining portion of the summer, and then I will want us to. I like to hear if there are any Juneteenth plans from across the state, so that we could possibly gather everything around. I heard that we have an event happening on Juneteenth and the FOFO in Acres Homes. I'd like to hear anyone else so that we can build our calendars. And then us discuss how we're able to we'll do that later, but I want us to build our relationship going into September. All right, so first, is there anyone any other Juneteenth events that are happening across the state?
Yes.
All
This
right.
is Coretta Graham. Hello, everyone. Again, back again. I was driving, so I
That's
was
good.
off. I wasn't on. I turned my phone off. So in Corpus Christi, of course, we do 10 days of Juneteenth. Well, we support. The chamber supports. It was a Juneteenth coalition, but then I think that dissolved, and so now another organization has taken up planning 10 days of events for Juneteenth from June 9th to the 10th. However, the chamber, what we're doing is we're doing on June 1st, we started doing business as a Black-owned business workshops to specifically address the needs of Black-owned businesses in our community. We were seeing the other workshops that other chambers were doing. We're like, well, we need to do workshops too. So we started that. That's going to be our second one is going to be June 1st. We have our annual Juneteenth luncheon that we started, State of the Black Businesses, since everybody else is having a state of. I said, well, shoot, we need a state of too. So our speaker is going to be Mr. Nelson Linder. He's president. I think he's still president of the Austin NAACP, but he's also a businessman. So that would be really, I think it'd be a really great presentation. Also, we started because we saw this, I don't know where we saw it, but we're going to start a Black Business Hall of Fame because we have a lot of Black-owned businesses in our community that have been in existence over 20 years, and we need to give them their flowers before the person passes away or they go out of business. So we're going to start that this year. We got a few folks that we can recognize this year, and we may not be able to recognize folks every year because where the threshold is like you got to be in the community like significantly. You know, your business should have been thriving for a minute. You know. And then so that's
Yeah,
June 12th. Our State of the Black Business Luncheon, and Mr. Charles O'Neill was our first speaker, and it was great. We're gonna do a Juneteenth business mixer on the 17th at this whiskey bar. We're gonna present them with a Black cowboy photo. We were looking at the pictures on the wall, like, ain't no Black people over here. But you know, it's white on. But anyway, we're gonna color it. We're gonna make we're gonna do a blackout and just bum rush the show.
Good deal.
So and then June 22nd is Lemonade Day. I don't know if they do that in other counties. But
Yeah,
down here,
we did Lemonade Day here a couple of weeks ago in Dallas.
so I think down here is June 22nd. So what we were trying to do is do a Lemonade Day market to start a entrepreneurship type program for a Black youth under 25. We'll see how that go and see what kind of participation we get. So those are just the things that we're doing for Juneteenth. You know, and then we have a scholarship that we hope to give out during Juneteenth, but apparently, like because of SB 17, you have universities, public universities, who are basically getting rid of their minority or scholarships that are designated for Black students. I don't know what that's about, but this is what we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll stop there.
Thanks, Madam Secretary. Any other events during Juneteenth? Larry, Greater Southwest.
Ours is not exactly tagged Juneteenth, but it is our annual Black Men's Conference. That's June the 20th here in the Dallas Metroplex. And I'll send you out the flyers that we've been sending to all our local Black businesses in the area to participate in it. But it will have a lot of the theme around our Juneteenth celebration, but it is actually our annual Black Chamber of Commerce conference that we have every year. We'd like to invite everyone to.
Thanks, Larry. I appreciate that. Tim, Gasaway, and then we'll go to D. Moore.
Yeah, the city of Amarillo is doing a Juneteenth celebration. It's going to range anywhere from June the 9th all the way to June 19th. So we can send that flyer in to you guys to disseminate as you might wish.
Good deal. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
More.
Real quickly, on June the 15th, we will have our annual Health and Business Expo. And what we do is we have different health providers come in from the community. And then on the business side, we provide an opportunity for maybe those organizations who don't have storefronts to sell products. We feed anyone that attends or participate free barbecue sandwiches. So that's an all day on the 15th. One of our sister organizations within the city, Let Us Breathe, by Shantae Fleming, on the actual day, they will probably have a parade and a big event in the park. We also have ages 51 and over. There's a barbecue that will be fed to them at Rose Park. So it's kind of a situation where there's a lot of involved parties celebrating, and everybody's welcome to come.
Thanks, D. Appreciate that. Michelle Green Ford at the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce. You all have a luncheon. Your luncheon is
a lot going on, May and June. So if you guys would just let me cover both of those quickly. First of all, May 23rd, next week, we're having a combined event with RBCA, Regional Black Contractors in this area. This is major. We're trying to build capacity of the amount of work we can gain in the construction area. This region is ripe with lots of projects going on all throughout the city, and we still have this issue of not having enough people who are qualified to do the work. So our BCA reached out to us and said, let's put together an event. So May 23rd, Sheraton Hotel, 11:30 to 2:30. Both organizations are coming together, pulling in people who are GCs, who are subs, who are people who are just trying to get started. And we will have DFW Airport there, City of Fort Worth, Tarrant County College, Fort Worth ISD, a lot of the major players who have the work to say these are real people. So it's a little different than the normal just pass your cards out. We really are going to deal with right now projects happening in the next 6 months, and right now people who have capabilities. So people come in with their capability statement. And I share that Texas is a small place. So you have people who want to ride up for that lunch, and I'm telling you, it'll be worth your while, because we're really trying to connect not only the entities, but we are wanting the GCs to connect with other people who have the additional supporting work that they need from trades. So that's May 23rd. June, obviously, you know, Miss Opal's here. So we have about 10 events going on in the area. There's a website, juneteenthstrong.com. So if you just go to juneteenthstrong.com, you'll see all 10 items. And I do understand that the major walk on the 19th is happening in Dallas this year. I don't know how that happened, Matt, but we'll talk about it.
We'll talk offline about that.
We don't know how Dallas.
As we build our economy in North Texas,
Come on. But there's still lots of events going on here in Fort Worth as well with Miss Opal. But all of that's on the website, juneteenth.com. Last annual luncheon, June 28th. We moved it to the convention center because we outgrew the Omni last year with 900. We're expecting about 1,200 people. We would love to see everybody there, and we'll reserve space like we did last year for TAC and make sure that we're all together. Awesome speaker coming as well. They're working on that, so it's going to be a good event.
Thank you, Madam President. It's good to see you.
You're welcome.
Greater Austin.
Just wanted to mention, if ever you in the Austin area on the fourth Wednesday of the month. We do have fourth Wednesday luncheons with our Black business owners. We rotated to the north, south, and central to make it easy for those to get there. So if you happen to be in town visiting the Capitol on the fourth Wednesday, you're welcome to come and register for lunch and network with our Black businesses. And then we have identified a date for our annual gala, which will be October 15th. And more information will be available at the next Momentum meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good deal. Greg McElroy.
Thank you. East Texas will be extraordinarily busy during the Juneteenth weekend. Marshall, Texas, and Wiley College are holding Juneteenth events there on the campus of Wiley College and in the city. Longview, Texas, on the Saturday prior to the 19th, has their annual parade, which is an extremely big event that we've been working on. And I've been working with the African American Museum in Tyler, which has an event planned on Juneteenth, but Tyler has this humongous parade for Juneteenth that they have over in the north side of Tyler. So I don't have a calendar. I wish we could get one together because it's quite a bit of activities that will be happening around that time period. And hopefully, if anybody happens to be passing through East Texas, you are more than welcome to stop.
Thanks, Greg. Ben?
Yes, I just wanted to elaborate briefly on the Juneteenth celebration in Ellis County. I stated earlier we'll have a parade and celebration downtown Waxahachie. That's on the 15th, the Saturday before the 19th. But in Ennis, we'll also have a parade and some activities. So if you miss Waxahachie on that Saturday and you pass through Ellis County, if you want to come down to Ennis, we'll be having a short parade and celebration. And we'll have a banquet that night to honor some of the teachers, retired teachers from our old Black or colored school from that era. So if y'all can make it, I'm down.
Thank you very much, Ben. Appreciate that. Any other announcements and events? This is really good. I'm glad to hear all of this.
Mr. Chairman, real quick, I'll say I really appreciate everybody scheduling your events for June 15th. Just know I'm not being mean by not attending your events. June 15th is my birthday and my 45th wedding anniversary. I allowed Miss Coretta Graham to jeopardize my marriage several years ago when I was actually in Corpus on my anniversary. My wife forgave me. I won't do that again. So
you can't do that no more.
so y'all enjoy yourselves on June 15th. I certainly will be enjoying myself, but I will not be at your event. Thank you.
We did compensate. We gave him a nice cowboy hat and a belt buckle for our luncheon. Everybody gets a belt buckle. So and he got a cake.
Yeah, sure did. Sure did. Took my cake on the airplane too, man.
Well, we do not want to jeopardize that. So we do not. Stay in good graces with Miss Robin. So.
But I also want to say real quickly, man, I really appreciate number one, the number of folk on the call today and the kind of engagement we're doing, getting to know each other better. I think this again gives us the kind of platform that allows us to have a unified message as we move forward, understanding that our missions are the same, whether we're in Abilene or we're in Longview or in Austin or in North Texas, that we are all shooting for the same thing. And as long as our messaging is consistent and our messaging is on our terms, then our efforts to attract supporters to the work that we do or form working relationships with other groups, as long as our messaging is solid, fundamentally sound, and on the terms of Black-owned business. And too often, our relationships are conditional in that we're exchanging our support or our partnering with organizations based on financial return. That's absolutely critical because we can't do the work that we do without financial support. However, I think this is subjective here. I don't think, I think we're at a point where we cannot equivocate on what our needs are as Black business owners. And so too often I have conversations with folk whom we hope to engage in this work who say, well, I had no idea things were so bad. Well, I don't know how you had no idea, because it's graphic. And again, in the state that spends 1% of its commitment for goods and services, when there's an active corporate retreat from diversity, equity, inclusion, how you could not understand that those negative impacts on the people we work for, on the work that we do. And so I think it's critical that, again, we have this unanimity in messaging as we go forward from calls like this, and as we move forward on along the path to completing our mission as a Black business organization, that we be consistent in our and I'll use Frederick Douglass's term, in our demands for equitable opportunity in the marketplace. And so again, I'm just absolutely elated. Man, we got almost, man, we were up to about 24 people on this call. That's great. And so just a few chambers missing. So next month, you'll be able to tell folk that they missed a great call, and that we are proceeding with creating the kind of organization that supports the growth, development, expansion of Black-owned businesses statewide. That's my sermon this morning, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. And to pass the offering plate, we have our project manager, Ms. Kristen O'Neill, for the remaining announcements concerning the conference.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll drop my my own Cash App, and then I'll send Tack a tithe. No, but thank you all so much. I just really quickly, you guys are going to receive an email today with our landing page for our conference. I'm super excited about this. I am anticipating this conference in Sugar Land in the Houston area to be one. Again, we say it every year that content is great, and more people need to be there. This is the opportunity for more people to be there. And so one of the things that you guys are going to get from me today is an email with a form that requests your participation in submitting workshop or panel discussions, any type of workshop titles, things that you are hearing from your local businesses, or just as chambers as well. One of the tracks that we want to be able to have is a chamber management, chamber leadership track for the conference. And so you'll receive an email today with workshop titles that you would like to see, as well as for speaker recommendations. And so if there is a business leader that you know excels in a workshop topic that you're submitting, feel free to submit them. If you yourself would like to be a part of our workshop discussions or panel discussions, anything like that, feel free to insert your own name as a speaker recommendation for our upcoming conference. The last part of that particular form will also ask for any volunteer opportunities that you feel like you or your chamber can assist us with. We're so glad to have Kennedy on board to help us from a communication standpoint, but we know that conferences have a lot of legs to them. And so any way that you know that it's within your wheelhouse to be able to assist, feel free to just chime in on that form on how you or your chamber would like to volunteer for our upcoming conference in September. And that is all that I have.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Project Manager. I want to echo your request for responding to your call for proposal, call for workshop, call for volunteers, as we are creating systems to better our conference experience. I want to thank you for doing that, for making our state conference experience relevant in 2024 and beyond, bringing us into the technological age. I also want to thank Charles and the TAC Exec Board for moving our agenda. This has been a very challenging 3 months for me as we've had our second child. She's 2 months old, and so she's starting to sleep more frequently. And so as as my wife and I are no longer becoming zombies, and we're becoming human again, I want to publicly acknowledge the work that the exec board, particularly this year, as I've requested them to assist me in capacity building. They've stepped up and been able to meet with me monthly, so that we can move our agenda. And thank you, Charles, and thank you, Kristen, for the continued work that you all do. Thank you all. If y'all have any comments, please feel free to contact me at any time. I will give you all 14 minutes back of your time, and I look forward to seeing you in June, in which we are going to hear from Valerie Warrior, the chairwoman of the Collin County Black Chamber of Commerce, as their spotlight, and then we will also discuss Juneteenth. Y'all have a great Monday and have a great week.